A New Hope, Nier Chapter 80. Please subscribe to patreon.com/Azazyel to read all of Azazyel's stories. Before Weiss could get into having a tsundere panic attack, Devola and Popola pushed her back into the bed, and I noticed how they subtly folded over Weiss's legs and had her leaning kind of backwards with her backside raised. They were trying to ensure conception. Which I was fine with, honestly. I wanted some flesh and blood to connect with, and my androids would simply be giddy, to say the least, if they got to hold my kids. Calm down, Weiss, we have all the resources in the world to take care of anything that comes of this. And as a huntress in training, you will literally only be taken off missions for 3 months towards the end of the pregnancy and to take care of your baby for a bit. I reminded her. Turns out when you lock hundreds of teenagers and young adults of both genders in co-ed dorms, it's not at all uncommon for the girls to become pregnant despite most of the ladies being on birth control to help regulate their periods and such. So, Beacon had its own daycare system with civilian women living on the campus with the sole job of taking care of the kids. Now typically you would think having a small population of kids on Beacon grounds as being a terrible idea due to it being an island surrounded by forests filled with grim, but I could see from Ashbin's point of view that any kids that were born and raised for a few years on Beacon while their parents trained here would almost certainly grow up to return to the school as future hunters or huntresses. Sure, it was inconvenient at times, but Remnant was a death world, and every birth was valuable, especially ones from hunters and huntresses coming together as they typically had stronger auras and semblances. But I am just a first year. Winter is going to kill me. Weiss groaned, and I leaned down and cupped Weiss's face. Hey Weiss. I love you. It's fine, we can take care of any child, and you can hang this over your work-obsessed sister that you actually have a life. I joked, and Weiss almost choked on her breath as she imagined such a scenario of trying to get one over her perfect sister. No, Winter is going to strangle you. Winter is going to strangle my first boyfriend. Oh my god, my life is ruined. Weiss cried out, and I couldn't help but giggle at how overdramatic Weiss was being. So, I did the most natural thing and silenced her with a kiss. After I felt her calm down, I broke apart the kiss and looked down at Weiss's flushed face. Don't worry, Weiss, I will be fine. Now let's get you cleaned up and replace the sheets, so we don't have to sleep in a wet spot. I said, with Popola and Devola gracefully pulling Weiss to her unsteady feet. Come on, mistress, let me get you cleaned up, and Popola, you replace the bedding. Jake, 06 needs you at their dorm room, we are ready for the body transfers. Devola told me, and for a moment I considered just staying with Weiss, but the woman herself shook her head as she saw me hesitate. I will be fine, Jake. I just panicked a bit as it was dropped on my lap too soon. Go take care of what you need to. I am going to take this day where all our teammates are being loud elsewhere to catch up on my beauty sleep. Weiss explained with a soft smile as she softly pushed my chest to get me moving. Alright, Weiss, you take care of yourself then. If you need anything, my girls will take care of you. I said, with Devola and Popola hurriedly nodding. Yes, we will happily take care of you, Weiss, don't worry about anything, Popola said happily as I exited my dorm room, and I could hear the sounds coming from Blake's dorm room with the rest of our teams that came together. Yeah, too loud for me, I muttered as I wondered if Ren and Blake were even in there, or were the 2 introverted members of that team were off somewhere else. When I came into my android's dorm turned small workshop, I saw on a couple of gurneys were copied bodies of Commander White, 2B, E6, and a couple of other androids I couldn't recognize off the top of my head. Jake, do you like the work we did on Commander White? She wanted a bit of a tune-up for her new body, so I hope you like it. 60 said excitedly, and I blinked in surprise as I realized that Commander White's breasts were actually like a cup and a half bigger than usual. Did White want to have the biggest breasts out of Yorha or something? I asked with a wry smile as I patted my operator unit on her head, making her squirm in joy at her designated favorite human physically showing her affection. Hee, yeah, she jumped the queue in being able to produce viable breast milk out of the formula, so that way we androids can take care of your kids. She said, pouting, and my face twitched as I recalled all the weird crap the Yorha androids that were stuck on the space station would do, to get my attention. You girls are just adorable, I said, rolling my eyes as I gave 60 a big hug, making her squeal in delight. I swung her around before putting her down, and I coughed. Alright, give me a report on the status of the systems in place to weed out any machine army influence that can come from downloaded consciousness being brought into the world, I said, all business. And 60 saluted me and began a lengthy tirade about stuff I had zero clue about, that all summed up to saying all consciousnesses I brought over would be isolated for a few days to allow the machine army codes to stick out as the main Yorha android consciousness is suppressed, allowing the pods and the twins to root the machine army code out of them. Alright, you have all done well. Good job 06, I am proud of you. I said, and it looked like 06 may have come a little at my high praise for doing such a good job. I will go get Commander Weiss and the rest of my girls' consciousness so we can rebuild the core of YORHA, I said with a darkness portal forming behind me. Good luck Jake, hurry back. 60 said, waving to me as I stepped into the portal leading to the connection I had with the Nier Automata universe.